Gold, we start with the daily chart. Okay, if you refer back to my last video when the price was somewhere around here, we explained that we have two options. One of the option was this is the only correction when we can expect for the up move. And the second option was that this is the correction and still we can get the one move down, at least the price come to this level, similar to what we have here. And when the price was here, we conform with this option. Okay, and if I put my lines, this means this is the option right now we have it. Okay, and what we expecting the price at least come to this level. Whether from there can continue and move lower, we are not sure, but what we expecting at least the price come to somewhere around here. Okay, that's why next week we are looking for this correction. We want to see how we can get the trade and from this correction, and our expectation is the price at least come to this level. That's mean we look for next week, we look for into this correction. Okay, and we are looking for the sell. In this case, we move to lower time frame and see how we can trade based on forward chart again. That's why in my last week video when the price was here, this is the reason. From there we explained that the price can drop, and this is what we were expecting if we had a trade setup from here. And now we're looking into this correction. We see how we can trade for this correction. Okay, for the next week. Now the things is, if the price from here drop, I don't think we will have a really good trade setup. Later I will explain based on 1 hour chart. Okay, but if we want to look for sell, mostly if we get the one move up, we get a bigger correction, we are more interested into it. That means if we want to look for sell, the best thing the price come to this high, then we get the sell from there, because at least we will have this in relative to this and this. Okay, that's mean for the next week, if we want to look for sell, the best thing is we get the bigger correction. The bigger correction, at least the price come to here before we take the sell setup. If we get a bigger correction, can give us a better sell. Okay, it doesn't mean the price from here cannot drop. Price can drop, but the question is whether we will get the trade setup or not. Okay, now we will move to lower time frame. We see how we can trade. Okay, first we talk in case the price can drop from here, how we can trade it, because we mentioned that if the price come to this top, we get a bigger correction, it can give us a better trade setup. But no, the thing is, how about if the price start to drop from here, how we can trade it? Okay, what I want to say is that if we want to sell from here, at least we need to get the bigger correction, similar to what I draw here, at least before we take the sell setup. That means if you want to sell from here, we need to get the correction, not the small correction, big, at least similar to what I draw here before we take the sell setup. Rather than that, if the price drop from here, or if we get the small correction, we're not going to sell it. That means if you want to sell from here, we need to get a big correction, which depends. Next week, we need to look into this correction. If we get, then from there, we can see how we can sell it. Okay, that's mean if the price drop from here with or without correction or with a small correction, we are not going to sell. The another option is having entry below this, a few pips below this. Again, having entry below this is not really good idea, is very risky. But for those traders, they can, if they can handle, they can take this trade. They have enough experience, because in case the prices start to drop from here, without giving us any proper trade setup, at least they can be in the trade. And if you're going to have entry below this, what we expect, whether the price from here sharply drop, or we get the small correction and the price drop and sharply. And if we have entry below this, the price drop, this is not moving or is correcting, we take out the trade. And if we get the bigger correction here, then we are not going to have entry below this. It depends. We need to see what we get here. Okay, having entry below this is not, when we have a bigger correction, we are not going to trade with that option. Okay, anyway, now we explain how we can trade both for both option in case the price from here drop. Okay, but that's mean this is how we can look for sell. But as I explained, based on forward chart, the best option for the sell is that if the price comes to this high, then from there we look for sell. Okay, this is the best option. That means if you want to look for sell, let the price come at least to this level. We get the correction at least one, two, three. Then from there we look for sell. Okay, this is more safe. And if we get a bigger correction, it can give us a better sell and better confirmation. Okay, it depends. That's mean we're getting for the bigger correction before we look for sell. Okay, and it depends what type of the correction we get. Also, there is a possibility the price from here with or without the correction drop break this low. Okay, for example, if I draw back again, break this low, that's mean the price can drop, then reverse, it give a different type of the correction before we get the sell setup. That means that if the price from here reverse come to this top or without breaking this low, it will give us the different correction. This one later, I mean, if it's happened next week, we can talk about it. That's what I want to say is that that's why I explain if we get the sell within three, the price is not moving, we take out the trade because there is a possibility the price can break this low and reverse. Okay. Anyway, the best things is if you want to look for sell, the price come to this high, then from there we look for sell. Can we, okay, beside this, do we need to look for buy from here in case the price, like what I explained, the price can come to this high before we get the down move? Okay, also we can look for buy, and any buy we're looking for is within this correction, or we call it the short-term buy. Okay, then how we can look for buy? If we want to look for buy from here, what we want, at least we get a sharp move, a small flag of correction. Okay, then from there we look for buy. That's mean if the price from here we get the sharp move, a small correction, we can look for buy, and when the price come to this high, this top, then we start to manage it. May similar to what we have here, sharp move, correction, similar to what I call it here, what we have here. Okay, anyway, again, we're looking for we are more interested for the down move. That's mean we're looking for the sell, and the best option is the price at least come to this high, at least to this top, or even higher. Then from there we look for sell, like what I explained. It depends what type of the correction we will get here, but if you want to look for sell, also explain. And in this case, we just follow the chart. When the market open, we see what is the changes next week. Then if you get any trade setup, then I will share on YouTube. Thanks.